Hey students, Mark Ferrier here. Okay, so I think I finally got this set up where it will work okay. So let's just go ahead and take a walkthrough of what we have. A couple of things here. These tabs are now working. The reading schedule has been set now that our class has settled, and the group assignments have been set now that our class has scheduled. Let me go ahead and open these up. So for the reading schedule, if you see here, your groups are organized by these readings. So group 1, literary theory, here you've got an overview of literary movements. I'll give you a couple more resources, but oh sorry, not group 1. This is for everyone. This is literary theory for everyone to read by June 3rd. And then here are the readings for poems, drama, and short fiction. And then I'll cover the literary movements group in just a moment, but this is sort of the reading schedule, what you as an individual need to read and when you need to read it by. So you can see here, by June 3rd, you want to read these. By June 9th, you want to read these poems. By June 23rd, these 2 plays. And by July 14th, our last set of fiction readings, The Telltale Heart, Red Convertible, and Third and Final Content. You'll want to read those. All right, so that's the reading schedule, and you can see that link from right here. Let's go to group assignments here real quick. So I'm going to open up group assignments. These are the groups that you have been assigned. So literary movements, poetry, drama, and short fiction. And then here are the people in your group. Please note, if you do not go by this name, you can email me and let me know. And so I'll try and handwrite in your name in the correct way or the correct name that you want to use. But also note, in Canvas under account, and there's a little edit icon here, or profile. I think it's the edit icon here, or it might be profile actually. One of these two will allow you to change your name. So you can go ahead and click on that and that will change your name in Canvas as well. All right, so these are the 4 groups that we have. So literary movements has 3 people, poetry has 2 people in it, drama has 2 people, and short fiction has 2 people. So what do these groups mean? So let's go back to the home page. I'm going to click on assignments and open up our assignments tab. I'm just going to do show by type and then scroll down, and you'll see down here we have for group presentations, there are going to be 4 presentations. The literary movements presentation, those presentations are going to be due on June 4th. Poetry is going to be due on June 10th. So if you're in the poetry group, you have a presentation due on June 10th. Drama, you have a presentation due on June 24th. And the short fiction group will be the last presentation due on July 15th. A couple of things. You'll notice here there are 2 extra assignments, the online team charter and task schedule, and the definitions and resources thread, which I will now walk through. So if you've been put into a group, you have been put into a group, I should say. The order that you want to start working on things right now is, don't forget, go ahead, let me do show by date real quick. For show by date here, what you want to do is make sure that you complete assignment 3 if you haven't already. So go ahead and complete assignment 3. And then next up for everyone is the team charter and task schedule. That's going to be due on May 28th. And then after that, there's this very short assignment, which I'll talk about in a moment. But let me go back to show by type. So for the presentations, what everyone has to do is, I put individual instructions here for each of these, but let me go to the literary movements presentation and open this up. And then the literary movements presentation, this is generally what every group is going to do, but I'll make individual groups for every group. So I'll just talk broadly about this presentation. So for this one, this literary presentation due on June 4th, the presenters, Calvin, Jordan, and Sheila, are going to get together. They're going to do a presentation on these literary periods. So you don't have to use all of them. Again, I'll make a separate video that talks about this in detail, but in general, for literary movements, you'll give a presentation on some of these and distribute them. Poetry will have their own list, drama, their own list, and so on. So what you'll do is you want to decide who will present on what, and then once you've decided who will present on what, you will make a team charter and task schedule. So if you click on this link, once you click on this link, that brings you to the team charter and task schedule assignment, which tells you to upload a PDF or Word copy. So for this assignment, it's fairly straightforward. The presentation team charter assignment, you're just going to put in your assigned topics, so literary movements, poetry, drama, short fiction, the due date, your team member names and what they've been assigned. If there's a group smaller, you could just delete the ones that aren't necessary and just fill in who is in the group. Then discuss, make sure before you figure this out, you meet as a group virtually, figure out how you want to meet, over text message, over Zoom. It does not matter to me, but just discuss that here. How often and what do you want to do for your team meetings? And then for the task schedule, the due date, and then just a few answers here in terms of what your intention are for individually how you're going to work on these presentations. So going back to the literary movements presentation, and this has to do with all the presentations, you will make an individual slide presentation and record that individual slide presentation on your own. So the group work is just to coordinate the group together as a group. So you split up the work and decide who is presenting on what. But individually, you work on your own presentation and you make your own slides. All right, so you're going to give a 4 to 5 minute presentation, and then you're going to include a slideshow where it's essentially you talking over the presentation, kind of like I'm talking over this website, this web page here that you see. All right, so the presentation for literary movements, because this is early and we've got 3 to kind of get through, I'm making this assignment about 4 to 5 minutes. For your slides, Prezi is preferred, but you may use PowerPoint or Google Slides, that's fine. You want to keep the text to a minimum because it's going to be you talking over the text, right? Don't have long blocks of text, just sort of bullet points of what you want to highlight. And then make sure you have some graphics or visuals. If you have a video clip, it can't be longer than 2 minutes. And make sure you put the slide number and your name on every slide. So the idea here is that this presentation is meant to give your classmates, right, some context for the topic. So when you're putting this together, so for the literary movements group, when you're putting this presentation together, and poetry, drama, short fiction, when you're putting your presentation together, think about what would be useful for your classmates to know and help them understand the readings better. So for literary periods, you can kind of go ahead and look at that reading schedule and see what readings we have if there's something you want to focus on. I'm leaving it up to individual groups to decide what they want to present on. Okay, so once you've done all that, down here at the end there's a TLDR version of what you need to do so literary movements and each other group for your presentation. You'll have this little note here that says exactly what you want to do. You're going to complete the team charter and task schedule. That's this right here, what we just went over. All right, you'll complete that, and then after wrong page. Let's go to the right page here. You'll complete the team charter and task schedule. Then you're going to make a recorded presentation where you discuss and expand on ideas from your slideshow. And then lastly, you're going to complete this definitions and resources thread assignment. So for this one, it's pretty straightforward. I'll link to that in a separate video, but you want to find a definition and a resource that your classmates might find useful, and you're just going to post it there. Something that you come upon in your research. All right. What you're going to post to your presentation assignment for literary movements, in this case by the due date literary movements, you need to post your presentation, and everyone else by their due dates. You're going to just go ahead and post, make sure you title your post, hit reply here. Title your post the name of in this case it's movements, but poetry would title poetry, drama, so on. Give your post a title by putting it in here, a PDF or a PowerPoint file of your slides. If you're doing a Prezi, go ahead and post that link. Make sure it works. And then a link to the actual video presentation of you narrating the slides. You can do a file as well. Just make sure everything works, and you have questions with that, let me know. But don't forget, on our homepage here, if you've got tech problems, this was on our quiz and FAQs, you can contact CTI or SUIT. All right, and so that's what you're doing now for presentations. Let me take a step back here. Let's go back to assignments. So I'm going to do show by date again. So upcoming, everyone should now be meeting with your groups. You can contact your groups by the people or the people tab over here. If you can't get a hold of your groups, let me know. I'm going to send an email out with everyone's email in it so you all can see and reply to each other if you need to and get each other emails. But you should be able to find each other in this people tab. So finish assignment 3, that's individual. As a group, work on the team charter, due on the 28th. Then assignment 4 is due 2 days later next week, May 30th. And what assignment 4 is just asking you to do is make sure you review that reading schedule, look at the literary movements and presentation response assignment. So I'll cover that in a moment. And then look at the overview of literary movements. You want to make sure you read this. Everyone reads this by June 3rd. And then in a text box, just copy and paste these and answer. Do you have any questions about the reading schedule? Again, this is due next week. Do you have any questions about the reading schedule, about the presentation response? And then how is your group work going? That's all this assignment is asking. You just kind of let me know how things are going. You just type that in the text box here. Okay, so that was assignment 4. The group works, notes, and presentation. So that's going to be due next week on the 30th. The following week on June 4th, the Literary Movements presentation group is going to go. They're going to give and post their presentation. Everyone else other than the Literary Movements group is going to go in and watch those presentations. And everyone other than the Literary Movements group is going to leave a response to those presentations. Those responses are due June 9th. All right, and that's going to be the Literary Movements presentation response. So for the response, all you need to do is watch that presentation, review your notes from the Literary Movements reading overview. All right, that was this one here. If you look on the reading schedule, go to the reading schedule, that's due by June 3rd. Overview of literary movements, go ahead and read that. And then for going back to the literary movements presentation responses, you're going to respond with a 1-paragraph response for each of the presentations. There'll be 3 presentations for literary movements and just some questions to consider. And then you're going to reply and post your response to the presentations. All right, so that'll bring us up to the end of the month. So let me just do a quick review here. I'm going to go to our home page. On our home page, I'm going to click on assignments. Just briefly, from the home page, let's go back to the home page. From the home page, make sure you can check out the reading schedule and your group assignments. And then what you want to do, I'm going to do show by date here in assignments tab. You're going to complete, next up, you're going to complete assignment 3 on your own. As a group, you're going to work on the team charter. For assignment 4, you're individually going to leave some notes and talk about the reading schedule. Then June 4th, the Literary Movements presentation is going to be given. And then June 9th, anyone not giving the presentation is going to go and reply. All right, so that's broadly where we're at. I'm going to leave this video here. If you have questions about this or any of this coming up, let me know. And I'm also going to email each group individually. All right, thanks for watching. And if you have questions, let me know.